Okay, guys, and welcome back for episode 4, which is now going to be on the topic of bullying, which was asked by someone again. So, I'm going to talk about my life experiences with bullying. As you know, I was bullied a lot back at school. School was very tough for me, and I mean very tough. I wasn't just bullied verbally. Um, I was punched and kicked at times. Besides being called names, school was extremely tough for me. And then obviously, when I was in school growing up, you had social networking introduced. So you had before like your Instagram and Facebooks and stuff. You had like your Bieber, but you had MSN as well and stuff like that. And that's when cyberbullying became a thing, and it was a massive thing in society. And it's horrible because it's horrible to be bullied, whether it's through cyberbullying, whether it's through verbal bullying, or even physical bullying, where you get punched or whatnot. Um, so it is a tough one. I honestly hate bullying. I I really do, and that stems literally from my childhood at school. This is I'm I'm very passionate about self defense these days and the military. I'm very proud on that, and I honestly believe, as much as I enjoy boxing and stuff like that, I think I personally went down the route of learning some martial arts and boxing techniques simply because of the bullying I went through at school. Any of the people who knew me at school who watch this video, whether it's teachers or students, will know I went through quite a bit, of bullying. It wasn't nice waking up every day thinking, oh God, what's going to happen today? You know, and you don't want to live like that, because when that's where you get into a rut then of your self esteem, how you value yourself. That's when it starts to dip, and it's not worth it at all, guys. It really isn't. I honestly, I hate bullies with passion. I honestly do. Um, it makes me sick to hear about people getting bullied. Even in workplaces, people can get bullied, and even though some people might see it as not bullying but banter, you don't know what that person's going through. To be honest, and you don't know if it is affecting them. So I honestly don't believe in bullying whatsoever. I hate it. I absolutely hate it with a passion. And I honestly believe, with everything I went through at school, this is why I learned boxing and martial arts in the end as I got older. And also, I went to do training with the Army and the Marines, where I learned self defense techniques. I honestly believe that's where it stems from. And to be honest, I'm grateful that I did those things, because it taught me a lot. And I actually, a couple of years back, I was in Cannock getting some lunch, and I saw one of my former bullies. Um, he literally just looked at me and went, I'm sorry. And he said to his partner who he was with, I used to bully him at school. And she actually turned around and said, which made me laugh, yeah, I'd love to see you bully him now because he'll probably pick you up and chuck you through a window. Because, everyone knows that I am quite strong, and all the weight training over the years has made me strong. And also, obviously, the techniques I've learned over the years for self-defense. So, I honestly believe that, it's horrible to know that even though I've left school, bullying still goes on. I won't want my children to be bullied because I won't want them to go through what I went through. Excuse me. So, I honestly wouldn't want my kids to go through what I went through. So, if we have our own children and stuff like that, we are literally putting them into martial arts class, not so they can be for bully, but so they know self-defense. So if they do get bullied, then that is an option. It's self-defense then, isn't it? So my mum and dad, they never liked the idea of me potentially getting into a fight at school because they always thought even though I swing back, I'd get in trouble. To be honest, I honestly wish I didn't listen to them. Honestly didn't wish I listened to them. And the only reason I did was because my mum is the only person who me and my sister was actually scared of growing up, to be honest with you. So, yeah, but I always remember my sister walked out of high school. She walked down, I was in year 3, and I was getting bullied by someone in year 6. Won't mention names. My sister walked out of high school. She would have been in year 7 going into year 8, and literally she walked down to my primary school, and she literally found him on the playground at lunchtime, funny enough, shoving me, and she saw him punch me. So she dropped her bag, walked over, grabbed him by the throat like that, lifted him in the air, and just held him there. And she literally said, you carry on with this and you'll find out what pain feels like. Because I'll personally inflict a lot of pain. And ever since then, I knew my sister had my back always. Ever since then. I know me and my sister, we always have fights, like proper full-on fights. Punch, elbow, knees. We used to do it all to each other. The amount of times we used to get covered in bruises from punching each other and kneeing each other and kicking each other was unreal. And I actually owe her thanks for that. Because in a way, she was making me stronger and tougher. So, I honestly thank her for that. But there's no right or wrong way to handle a bully. Because either way you look at it, if you go to a teacher, you're going to be a grass. So, the bullying will carry on. If you stand up for yourself and you fight back, there's, a chance you'll get in trouble with the school. then there's a chance you'll get in trouble when you're at home by your parents and whatnot. So, very unfortunately, it sucks to be like that. But personally, if my child was getting bullied and they ended up sticking up for themselves and knocking them out, I won't punish them. I won't punish them at all, because they're standing up for themselves, and I would turn around and say they had it coming. The bully did, because he tried to bully my kid. They hit first, so my kid hit back straight after. Self-defense. I won't have my kids in trouble for that at all. So, in fact, but that's my personal opinion, guys. But bullying is a massive thing, because, like I said, I went through it in primary school. I went through it in high school. My college years, I didn't have bullying. I did a lot better at college than I did school, because the problem is when you're bullied at school, you don't want to go. So because you don't want to go, you don't take an interest in school, in your schoolwork and your school life. So then it can affect your grades. It honestly can. It really affected mine. I just could not be bothered to be in school. I hated going to school every day, 5 days a week. And because I was always constantly worried, oh, what they're going to do next to me and all this and all that. And now it's just like, looking back at it, it has kind of shaped me in the way I am, in regards of, okay, someone punches me, yeah, they're getting punched back now. Because I know self-defense, and I know that if I'm using self-defense, I'm in for right there. So it has shaped me in a positive way, but that doesn't always happen for everybody. So you need to bear that in mind, because I literally, when I was at my lowest, I didn't think this headstrong as I do now. Well, strong-headed, I should say, sorry. So, I honestly believe bullying is a serious thing, and it can lead to, obviously, depression and anxiety whilst you're at school trying to learn and get good grades to go on to do what you want to do with your life. I was one of the lucky ones to be able to turn it around at college. So no one at my school would have thought I could have got an offer to go to university. I actually did get an offer to go to university to study criminology at Manchester, and I chose not to. So I chose to go into work instead. Part of me regrets it, part of me doesn't. It's one of them. So I honestly believe bullying can be the worst thing, but it could also be a good thing in one sense of building you up mentally and physically. So, because after a while of the punches and stuff like that, I got at school, it stopped hurting. Truthfully, stopped hurting. And I actually remember for one day, I did actually punch back at school. Took a kid clean off his feet, and the teacher comes running over. They've seen me do that, But then 6 pupils who don't even know me saw the whole thing and said, actually, he attacked him. He punched him twice and he's only punched him once. It's not his fault. And to be honest, I'm grateful Faye was there, because I could have probably got suspended or something like that from school. But you know what? I finally had enough. But the worst thing was, I finally did that at the end of my school life. If you're getting bullied, see, this is the problem, because some people are going to say you can't use violence because it's not right. But then if you go to a teacher, you're also going to be known as a grass or snitch, and that's not right. So why? But ask yourself this: why should someone take bullying? Why should someone go to school like how I did and just take the bullying? Why? They shouldn't. No one should take bullying. It's a disgusting thing. So I honestly believe it depends. If it's verbal, then you can just tell them to F off, can't you? Simple as that, just F off, right? But if it's physical and they full on punch you or elbow you or kick you or whatever, then I know I'd want my kid to punch back. 100%. Simply because I don't want them going through what I went through. So bullying is one of those topics where everyone's always going to have their own opinions and everything like that. And at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong answer, because everyone is entitled to their own opinions. So I honestly recommend, in the situation you're in, you do what's best for you. Okay? That's my personal opinion. So if someone punched me now, I'd punch them back. If someone started using verbal bullying, I'd tell them to F off. If someone messaged me on social media something as a form of cyberbullying, I'll probably come back at them and reply to them with a comment. You know what I mean? So just because you're being bullied doesn't mean you can't stand up to it. You need to stand up to it. And that's what I think everyone can agree on, is that you need to stand up and crack down on the bullying. Obviously, teachers aren't going to be there 24/7 to see everything throughout the day. So teachers aren't always going to be there to help the vulnerable students. And it's a shame, but it's one of those things, unfortunately. So you have to make that decision on your own, what's best for you. But let me tell you now, if I could go back in time, I'd punch every single one of them. Every single one of them. Before I did on my last few days in year 11, I'd punch all of them in high school, truthfully. But again, that's just me. So, unfortunately, guys, I can't really tell you what to do, but I hope I've sort of gave you an idea of what you could possibly do. Okay? May I just say at this end of this video right now that I do not promote violence unless it is a last resort where it's self-defense. Okay, may I just please say that? So I don't want anyone watching this and then lashing out, punching someone or knocking someone out. Well, he said do it, and then going, well, he said do it. I don't want that, because self-defense is a last resort. You know, I only use self-defense if I've been struck now. I'd rather talk to someone before any violence happens. So that is the last resort for me. So just bear that in mind, guys, okay? Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon for another topic.